So guys, welcome back. We're gonna start a little bit before where we left off because this game doesn't have a save function. You're faced with a red painted steel door. It's time to go inside. Let's step inside this time. I think what threw me off with this game is that instead of like Day Shift, where he had like all the animation and everything, it was basically a visual novel. This is not. Okay, as you step into the back room and hastily shut the door behind you, it takes a moment for your eyes to readjust to the dark. Your eyes slowly focus on your new inky surroundings, and you glance around the room to get your bearings. You can see why the back room is usually sealed off now. Your surroundings are moldy and foul. Green alien mold coats the walls like a hostile alien garden ivy. Several old dilapidated arcade machines lie unused in the back left corner of the room. As you turn to look at the right side of the room, you notice that something else is lurking within the room. Shadowy figure limps over to you from the right corner. As it goes closer to you and your sight adjusts to its visage, you cannot help but shudder in disgust. The figure appears to be some kind of robot, a putrid green rabbit to be exact, with large straw-colored disordered teeth. Several tears cover the outer shell of the animatronic. As you inspect the robot further, you notice that the robot's missing an ear. As it limps over to you, a musty, rotting smell salts your nostrils as if an animal had died inside this thing. The monster makes a fluid motion with its arm, slowly and shakily extending its hand up towards your face. It begins speaking in a raspy voice. You. Let's still say hello. Let's be polite. Its voice is cold and mechanical, and yet somehow human. As it speaks, the rotting smell gets considerably more potent. It scans you up and down, taking a visible amount of time to read your name tag. Jeffrey, it's me, Michael. You find it hard to contain your disgust as it says your name. Have you seen my father, Jeff? You remember Afton's advice and choose not to respond. Michael puts his hands on your shoulders, digging his fingers into your flesh. He begins shaking you slightly. You look down and notice what appears to be human organs inside the rabbit's chest cavity. Jeffrey, where's my father? Where's my father, Jeffrey? I didn't catch that last line. You throw Michael's dinner to the floor and hastily dart out of the room, knocking over 2 antique lamps and a stack of boxes on the way out. And here we go. So we had our spring trap encounter. Daylight blinds you as you leave the dark confines of the back room. As soon as you compose yourself, you jam the rusted bolt on the steel door into place, locking the door. You sigh with your hands over your face and lie back against the wall. Okay, that was slightly odd. What do you want to do now? Return to the dining area. With Michael fed, you return to the dining area. Amazingly enough, there's a customer in the dining area. You can see him sitting at one of the tables, prodding his pizza with a stick. He doesn't appear to be a satisfied customer. Also, it looks like Scott's back in action. He's standing bolt upright over by the show stage. He also is frantically glancing around the room for something or something unknown. You decide to approach Scott. As you approach the jittery man, he jumps ever so slightly the moment he spots you, but relaxes as soon as he realizes who you are. He puts a hand in his pocket and a crooked, nervous smile plasters across his face. Hey there, Jeff! Hey, Scott. Scott leans in close, and his face morphs into an almost sympathetic smile. So, Jeff, what have you been up to over the last hour or so? I fed Michael. Scott instinctively shudders and lets out a tremendous sigh upon hearing that you had to feed Michael on your first day.
You know.
Can't say that I'm even surprised, On your first day, really? Look, I'm sorry you had to do that. Even for Freddy's veterans, that's considered an unpleasant job. Hey, can I ask you something off the record? Scott glances around from side to side before finally locking eyes with you. He leans in closely and speaks in a hushed whisper, eyes still darting around.
Whatever.
Jeff, please think carefully before you ask whatever you're about to ask. Oh my gosh, these are all good. Why exactly are you afraid of Mr. Afton? Why do those robots look and act so strange? Scott sighs in relief and reclines against the stage end wall next to the stage.
Oh, wait.
Those robots, man, look. I don't know what to tell you. Those things have always been weird. I mean, just look at these things. Those things have always given me the creeps. I actually saw them shorting out earlier. Yeah, these robots have always seemed sort of unhinged, but unsurprisingly, they've been even twitchier lately. Suddenly, Scott's eyes widen and his face contorts into a surprised look of realization just as if Scott had an epiphany and suddenly knows the solution to a long, deliberated problem. Scott glances up at the robots and then back to you. Then he glances back up the robots again and then back to you again. Scott repeats this twice more, increasing momentum with each head turn. Scott rests his arm against the wall with a crooked, crazed smile spreads across his face. Yeah, I hear you, Jeff. You ever hear about those missing kids? Oh, like the newspaper clippings on the wall? Scott's smile trembles and he glances from you to the robots yet again. Yeah, I remember. Who would have thought it? An unknown man abducting 5 children while wearing a yellow bear suit. How peculiar. Hey, did you just say yellow bear suit? Scott laughs, but it sounds ever so slightly, completely horrifying.
You know.
Yeah. Oh boy, I love my life. I love this place. You know, they never even found the bodies. The one customer left in the dining area is staring at Scott as if he has a phone for a head.
These things happen sometimes.
Imagine that! Such a small restaurant and they never found the bodies. It's ludicrous, is what it is. Scott moves his hand up, waving his flattened hand towards the robots on the dead, lifeless stage.
You know.
Boy! Aren't these robots really something? Yeah? Scott manically gazes back at you, frantic smile even wider. It's a shame that he abducted the kids, isn't it? Well, yeah.
So,
I just don't get where the bodies could be. Where haven't we checked yet? I don't know. Have you tried the dumpster? Scott once again waves his trembling, outstretched, flattened hand towards the dead show stage. Man, Jeff, aren't those robots really something? Scott, you're yelling. Man, if we could have a hint as to where those kids could have ended up. Jeff, for the love of... Boy, aren't those robots really something? Suddenly, you instinctively turn around to see what that loud fucking noise was. To your surprise, you can't spot anything behind you that could have made that noise. You turn back around and find that Scott has disappeared. Afton stands where Scott stood, arms folded, with a serene smile on his face. It says this is for mature viewers. Everybody in this family's batshit crazy. Oh, hey, sir. Did you hear that noise? 'Cause I didn't hear anything. Afton licks his lips and doesn't even answer the question. So, Jeff, how are you getting on working the day shift? Fine enough, sir. Afton chuckles ferociously upon hearing the good news. That's great to hear, my lad. That sounds like crunching. Sounds like it's coming from the parts and service room. You begin walking towards the door of the parts and service room. Jeff! Where are you going, lad? Sorry, sir. I gotta see what that noise is, because I'm totally an idiot. You keep walking towards the noise and reach the parts and service room door. Jeff! Please! I order you to come back here! Your curiosity gets the better of you. You open the door. Oh dear. That sounds simply dreadful. Oh. During the 8 or so seconds you stared at what was inside the room, you definitely witnessed what appeared to be Bonnie, the large lavender rabbit animatronic from the show stage, forcing Scott's limp body into an empty Freddy Fazbear costume. Afton lurks up behind you with a nervous grimace on his face. Oh, would you look at that? Bonnie is just helping Scott put Scott to bed since he's feeling so unwell. Isn't that nice of Bonnie? Isn't it, Jeff? Yeah, I don't know. Scott's neck looks kind of broken. No, is that blood? Yeah, Hey, look on the bright side. With Scott temporarily unable to work the graveyard shift, you've been promoted to night guard. Oh, neat. When do I start? Right now! You start tonight! Afton chuckles nervously and hastily slams the parts and service room door shut behind him. So, Jeff, how about you go home and get a few hours rest? Afton checks his wrist for the time, but clearly isn't wearing a watch. How about you go get coffee and come back in, let's say, 6 hours? You should be awake and rearing to go. Sure, see you in 6 hours, Mr. Afton, because I'm a bloody idiot. Afton breaks into a hearty, if not malicious, chuckle and pats you furiously on the shoulder. Please, Jeff. Call me Bill. Okay, Bill, see you then. Didn't Afton warn us not to do that? Not Afton, did Scott warn us not to do that? You leave through Freddy's glass doors and find yourself back in the same familiar parking lot. Look back through Freddy Fazbear's glass doors. Ah. Afton appears to be going into the parts and services room with a mop and bucket. Wonder if that 6-hour long break was for your benefit or his. With today over and done, you get into your car and drive to the nearest coffee shop. Tomorrow is another day. Sadly, though, you still have to come back again tonight. Fuck. This is for adults! Would you like to save your progress? Yes, we finally hit a progress save. Okay, I hope that's saved. You glance out your car window, piping hot coffee in hand. I'll have a drink of my coffee. As dusk sets in, a blanket of darkness falls over the sleepy town of Hurricane, Utah. You glance at your watch. 11:47 p.m. It's been over 5.5 hours. It looks like it's about time to go back to Freddy's. Do I have to? Well, hey there, Miss Chica. You pull up into the almost empty parking lot. A flickering, rusted streetlight barely illuminates the enormous, dimly lit sign in front of the pizzeria. Just as you turn the engine off, your brick-like cellular phone erupts into a frenzy. Hello? You answer the phone in a hurry. New phone, who dis? Hello? Hello, lad. It's me, Bill. You ready for your shift? I'm ready for Freddy, sir. That's great. Come to work as soon as you can and we can get started. I'm in the parking lot right now. Oh? You are? From the interior of your car, you can see a set of curtains stroll back through a front-facing window of the Freddy's building, and a pair of peeking eyes stare out at the car. Curtains retract again, and Afton's voice comes from the phone once again. Okay, that story checks out. Come inside, lad. Wait, I didn't see any windows when I was in there. Afton pauses for several seconds before simply choosing not to reply to what you just said. Afton hangs up the phone, leaving you alone in your car. With nothing left to do, you open your car door. You glance up towards the rainy sky. Large cartoon bear on the sign above the door, Freddy Fazbear Pizza, leers down at you menacingly. You step through the desolate, rainy parking lot and open the front door of the Solemn Pizzeria. This isn't entirely bad, it's just a little rough around the edges. As you walk through the double doors, which separate Freddy's from the rest of the road, you can't help but notice the nauseating scent of bleach. It smells like something here really needed to be cleaned, eh, Chef? Eh? You glance around the airy dining area and notice that the entire place seems to be completely deserted. Look up at the show stage. You gaze up at the show stage on the other side of the dining area. 3 still monstrous figures stand under the unlit faces of several dusty stage lights. At that point, you remember that the robots aren't really alive. Sudden noise voices your head instinctively toward the left. You glance over to your left and see the parts and service room door swing open. A figure appears in the doorway. Jeff, my lad! Upon closer inspection, the figure turns out to be Afton, who ceremoniously runs up to you and hurriedly pats you on the shoulder. You made it, my boy! Oh, yeah, I was just outside. I sure did, sir! Excellent! Excellent! Afton glances down at his wrist as if to check the time. He isn't wearing a watch. My, it's almost midnight. Your shift will be starting any minute now. Oh, okay, good to know. Afton quickly puts one of his arms into his jacket and takes out his car keys out of his pocket. Jeff, I gotta run. To be frank, I don't like being here when the clock hits midnight. Oh, why's that? Afton licks his lips but doesn't actually answer the question. Okay, Jeff, I'll be off now. Afton points down a long, inky hallway, the same hallway that holds the newspaper clippings that you were fascinated with earlier. At the end of the hallway, there's an open door frame. Behind that door frame, there's a room. That's your office. Your job is to spend the next 6 hours there looking over fuzzy security footage of the different rooms here, alright? I had Scott record a voicemail for newbie night guards a while back, so make sure you give it a listen, eh? Night, Jeff! I'll catch you on the flip side! Before you can respond, Afton puts his other arm into his jacket and runs out the door, leaving you alone in the dark, empty restaurant. Power cell ready. Da 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 da. Moments later, the flickering, blinking fluorescent lights above you all turn off at once with an audible whir. You shrug your shoulders and make your way from the old dining area to the security office. How you did that in the dark, I have no idea. You solemnly trudge through the damp, cobwebbed corridors, staring at the newspaper clippings as you pass them. You catch a glimpse of a few incomplete headlines. Bite of 80, Fazbear slaughter remains. Stray dog won't enter Freddy's even when... What a strange headline. You pass an old archway leading to an airy exposed supply closet. With how much bleach this place goes through per week, it's no wonder they have such a gigantic janitorial space. After what seems like a full minute, you finally reach the ominous west wing doorway leading to your security office. You peek your head in the doorway only to find a dimly lit, cramped security office containing only an old desk, covered in crumpled up pieces of paper, clunky metal dustpan, standard spinning office chair, and a security tablet with a camera panel on screen. You enter the office and collapse into your flimsy swivel chair. You check your watch. 12:02 a.m. Your shift began 2 minutes ago. Would you like to see your progress? Yes. Yes, please. Suddenly, the phone comes to life and begins chirping at you from your desk. Oh? The phone is still ringing and you likely should answer it, but for some reason, you don't feel as though you really belong there. Okay, now it's time to make a decision. Do you answer the phone or not? Fine, whatever. I have the sour attitude of an actual Fosters employee. You pick up the phone and listen for a voice on the other end. A familiar voice comes from the receiver. Hello? Hello? Oh no, it's Afton. Hello, Jeff. Sir? Jeff, you weren't meant to pick up the phone. I told you that your instructions for the night were to be contained in a voicemail, remember? Oh, right! Stupid me. Okay, let's try this again. I'm going to call you again, and this time you won't pick up. Got it. What happens if I pick up? Hell hath no fury quite like mine, Jeff! Afton hangs up on the other end. You put the phone back on the receiver. Not only is he crazy, he's strange, too! Moments later, the phone begins chirping again. It chirps for several seconds. Let the phone ring. You wisely let the phone continue ringing anyways, and after what seems like minutes, it finally stops. A loud click comes from the body of the phone, and a familiar voice is emitted from the receiver.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello? You loudly say hello back, clearly not understanding that you're listening to a pre-recorded message. Yeah, we'll floof you too. I wanted to record a message for you to help you get settled in on your first night. I actually worked in that office before you. I'm actually working here right now, as a matter of fact. The boss wanted me to leave this message as a tutorial thingy of sorts for future rookie night guards. You know how it is.
You know?
I'll level with you. This can be a somewhat difficult job. Jeez, the amount of my ribs that need replacing every year.
Oh, wait.
Yeah. The employee health plan doesn't cover shattered ribs, by the way, so try to keep those intact. The employee health plan also doesn't cover any other kinds of injuries or fractures, or employee health for that matter. He muttered Jesus out loud. So make sure to listen closely or you're going to get your neck broken in 3 different places, which is bad, obviously. Nobody wants to get their neck broken in 5 different places, right? So listen closely, so as not to get your neck broken in 7 different places. How does that number keep increasing?
So,
Now cut to the chase! You'll probably hear due to one of the following. You changed your name and got a job here to search for me, your dead father. You're here to search for answers about your dead abducted sibling. Your father, Mr. Afton, has asked you to come here. You loudly state, that doesn't apply to me at all, and skip forward through the message. Replace the carpets after any rookie night guards. You keep skipping through the call. Lord, this is a long call. Chica is an inherently sexual creature, so make sure to maintain... You consider rewinding the message for context, but decide you don't really want the explanation. Look, I'm gonna level with you.
You know.
If you're hearing this, I probably died at some point. Probably at work from being stuffed into a bear costume, or from a brain aneurysm. Okay, that's oddly specific. I need you to do something for me, rookie. I have a gray box underneath my bed locked with 2 padlocks. Please. God! If they find what's in that box and the police get involved, my family will disgrace me at my own funeral. Your hand slowly drifts over to the phone's receiver. Please, God, rookie, you've got to help me. Bury that box, throw it in the ocean, I don't care. Just get rid of the box. My address is... Your finger deftly presses a button on the plastic body of the phone, silencing the answering machine with a click, leaving you alone in the dimly lit office with only the buzzing of the metal decks fan, a royalty-free stock ambience track to keep you company. For a few minutes, you sit in the office, bolt upright with a stoic expression on your face. You glance at your watch. 12:13. Fuck, it's gonna be a long night. You glance around the office and notice very little to do or see. Inspect the crumpled up papers on the desk. You grab one of the papers on your desk and uncrumple the ball of paper. It's an invoice for 15 disposable plastic coffins. There's a question scared carelessly at the bottom of the document in pen. Can bleach dissolve human bones? You scrunch the paper back into a ball and pretend not to have read that sentence. With nothing to do, you rhythmically tap your legs. You decide to get up and explore the hallway outside to kill a few minutes. With a groan, you slowly rise from the desk chair and walk through the door frame to your left. Uh-oh. Find yourself back within the confines of the murky West Wing hallway. You gaze down the long hallway, but inky sea of darkness prevents you from seeing very far. I got zoning out, sorry guys. You stroll down the hallway, passing an array of ancient-looking posters of the Fosbear crew and some familiar, ominous-looking newspaper clippings. You suddenly stop dead in your tracks. You slowly turn around and face back the way you came. Strangely enough, the poster of Freddy Fazbear you passed on your way out of the office seems to be flickering. Somehow, the image on the poster is changing rapidly like a stop-motion animation, and the Freddy illustration is attempting to pull its own head off its neck. Oh, that's neat. I didn't know posters could do that! You stare at the poster for a solid 15 seconds before realizing that even seeing Freddy Fazbear continuously attempt to rip his own head off over and over again gets really boring after prolonged exposure. You check your watch once again. 12:17. Could really use a soda from the soda fountain right now. Good idea, Jeff. You might be able to kill a few minutes. You slowly trudge through the dark hallway, finding yourself at the south end of the expansive and now abandoned dining area. Empty tables fill the center of the room. 3 distinct robot mascots all stand completely still on the unlit stove stage. The place looks truly, for lack of a better word, dead. You pass through the width of the dining area and find yourself at the opening of another long, inky hallway. You duck through an east-facing doorway. Sure enough, you find yourself in a small, dingy kitchen. You glance around the dingy kitchen, taking note of the several freezers, most likely containing frozen pizza and 2 grimy microwaves. Jeez, what a shoddy eating establishment. It's no wonder that this place is usually so poorly lit. After several seconds of glancing, you notice a beat-up, dusty soda machine. You excitedly pace over to the machine and take one of the plastic cups from the top of the machine. You peer at the different buttons. You clearly have a choice of several beverages, none of which are name-brand sodas, I might add. And watch the machine be locked. We always lock them at night. What's your poison? Freddy Cola, Bonnie Aid, Foxy L. Let's get Freddy Cola. You hold the cup below the drink dispenser and cheerily wait for your delicious beverage to descend from the faucet of the machine. Suddenly, the machine starts furiously humming and gurgling. Strange whispers fill your ears and something red gushes from the mouth of the machine. You pull your hand away. After several seconds of menacing gurgling, you're rewarded with a cup filled with whatever just came from the machine. Liquid is thick and crimson, smells metallic too. I think you've just been served a cup of blood. I knew I should have gone for the Freddy Cola. Knew I shouldn't have gone for the Freddy Cola. Your plastic cup filled with blood down disheartenedly and walk back out of the kitchen. As you turn away from the machine, it erupts into a frenzy, churning more thick clotted blood from the faucet of the machine. You walk back to the entrance of the East Wing hallway, ignoring the pool of blood being dispensed onto the floor. You take several seconds to stroll down the hallway, taking notice of the children's drawings strewn about on the walls. Some of these drawings are strange, alright. In this one, Freddy is singing a Diana Ross song to a green version of Foxy. An arrow is pointing at the green Foxy labeled, "My OC, Johnny the Pirate Fox, who is Freddy's husband." Jesus, this drawing is cursed. As you continue down the hallway, you notice some more drawings, some even more bizarre than the last. Oh my god, we found deviant art! Here's a drawing of a purple Freddy, flossing. Oh, and here's a drawing of a yellow Freddy, cutting up what appears to be goblins with a hacksaw. Two things are apparent to you. One, kids must not definitely know the color of Freddy Fazbear. Two, Freddy clearly does not have quality control system for which children's drawings go up on the walls. After approximately 15 more seconds of walking, you find yourself at the East Wing doorway to the office. You quickly pass through the doorway and leap back in your cheap swivel chair. As you recline in your office chair, it suddenly occurs to you. Did Mr. Afton say something about checking the security cameras or something? Yeah, that sounds familiar, alright. Right. You should check the security cameras. Glance around the office aimlessly. You glance around the office aimlessly, apparently looking for some kind of direct instruction. You glance at the faded poster on the wall. Nope. Nothing of help there. You stare at the crumpled up papers on your desk. Nah, that doesn't help. You look up at the ceiling. Huh. There's a yellow sticky note stuck to the ceiling. Scrawled on the note in black marker are the words, "Use the camera panel, Jeff." Strange. I guess Afton predicted this exact scenario happening. You look on the desk and sure enough, there's a worn out black plastic tablet. You press the only button on the body of the tablet device boots up with a whir. Okay. Hi. As the camera panel boots up, the screen dimly illuminates itself and a fuzzy image of darkened show stage appears on the panel's monitor. Unfortunately, now I also see Bonnie in the doorway. Hi, Bourbon! In the lower right corner, you spy an electronic map of the pizzeria with labeled security cameras, feeds of each room. Underneath the map, there's some text that says, "Press the security camera button to view its feed. What do you wish to do now?" Examine Pirate's Cove. Shouldn't I be looking at Bonnie? But let's look at Pirate's Cove. You stare at the feed of a camera labeled Pirate's Cove. You're greeted with a poorly angled view of a starry purple curtain. You make out a shadow on the lining of the curtain, but nothing more. Something is humming, but you're known not to follow eerie humming since you were a lad. You decide to check a different camera feed. What do you wish to do now? Examine restroom corridor. Take a moment to examine the restroom corridor. The water-clogged corridor isn't very interesting, save for a few mysterious puddles, comprised of what you hope is water. You switch to a different camera feed. What do you wish to do now? Examine the dining area. Bonnie is just waiting ever so patiently. You check out the now abandoned dining area. Looks the exact same as when you saw it last. The tables are empty and deserted and nothing is stirring there. What do you wish to do now? Examine the kitchen. No, let's examine the show stage. Gaze at the show stage. Strange. You can only make out the shape of two robots. Wasn't there another one on the show stage last time you checked? Let's see. There's the bear robot and the duck robot. The rabbit's gone. What the? That's strange. Suddenly, you recall something Scott told you earlier. They used to be allowed to walk around during the day, too. Aw, shit. I guess I can still walk around at night. Well, that complicates my job slightly. Seems that every fast food place you worked at so far has poured this sort of shit. At McSpanky's, they made you strip for customers on slow days. At Candy's Burgers and Fries, they made you massage the suited workers. Okay, that's just too much kink right there. I guess every fast food place is the same deep down, eh? What do you wish to do now? Examine the kitchen. You check the camera feed. Oh, dear. Camera doesn't seem to work at all. The mic feed on the camera seems to work and you can somehow pick up distant yodeling. After several seconds of staring into the abyss, you remember a very relevant Frederick Nietzsche quote. Don't stare into the abyss for too long because you have other security cameras to peek at. Switch to another camera feed. What do you wish to do now? Examine the layout of the pizzeria. Yep. Seems to correlate pretty much exactly with the building that you're currently working at. Although, there seems to be a few vital places missing. Firstly, there are no exits marked on the map. Also, unless you're mistaken, Michael's room is strangely absent from the digital map layout. Strange. Wonder why that is. 'Cause it's a safe room, you moron. What do you wish to do? Okay. It's gonna make me keep doing this till I trigger Bon, isn't it? You check back at the abandoned dining area. Well, that's one mystery solved. You found Bonnie the rabbit. The robotic bunny is now standing in the center of the room, perched on one of the tables. How on earth? How did he get up there? Can these things climb? Can they jump? Impressive. I like finding the rabbit on the security monitor. After several seconds of staring at the lavender lapine loaf on the camera feed, you decide to stop doing that. He was just waiting for me to die. Okay, examine the restroom corridor. Once again, you examine the restroom corridor. Nope. Nothing new there. Just the same few puddles of ambiguous liquid. Switch to a different camera feed. Let's see if he's still in the dining area. Okay, yep. It's Bonnie again. Hello, Bon! You still can't figure out how on earth Bonnie got up on that table. Ah well. Decide to check another camera feed. Okay, this is getting kind of fun. Show stage. Okay. Now the show stage is noticeably more sparsely populated. The only robot left standing on the stage is Freddy Fazbear, and he's looking right at you. Right into your soul. Hey, you! You stop that! Oh my. The camera feed just cut out. That's annoying. Oh, the feed's back. And Freddy's gone. Crap. This camera is obviously cursed. I'll just stop checking this one. What do you wish to do now? Examine the restroom corridor. Oh my god, he's on his way. They're all on their way. Crap. Once again, you examine the corridor. Nope. Nothing new there. Okay. Examine Pirate's Cove before Foxy runs. You glance back at Pirate's Cove. You're once again greeted with the same tattered purple curtain, that same monotonous humming and nothing more. Decide to check a different camera feed. Okay, dining area. Okay, yep, it's Bonnie again. Hello, Bonbon. Okay, so he's not moving. I'm actually getting kind of tense. Okay. Examine the kitchen. Oh, Chica's in there. Oh! Sounds like one of the robots scurrying around the kitchen playing with pots and pans. And your heart and soul, you know it's just that fucking duck. Yeah, it's a duck, I just know it. You listen for several seconds, taking note of the banging pots and pans. Jeez, Chica really likes to be... Oh! Sounds like something slipped and shattered in the kitchen. Did Chica just slip on the blood pool the soda fountain made? That's entirely possible. You did sort of just leave a fairly large pool of blood in that room. It's impossible to tell how bad the fall was due to the complete camera feed being completely broken. R.I.P. robotic bird! Suddenly, you get the urge to check on Pirate's Cove again. You click the button, and you're brought straight to that camera feed. Once again, you're greeted with a poorly angled view of the da-da-da-da-da. For the first time since you got here, the purple tattered cannon... For the first time since you got here, the purple tattered curtain has parted slightly. Peeking from behind the curtain, you can barely make out the vague shape of an old animatronic. Your vision adjusts the camera view, and your eyes hone in on the robot. The robot is a faded scarlet color, and covered entirely by rips and tears, which expose the robot's inner circuitry and shiny metal endo. The character looks like a wolf, a dog, or perhaps a... Oh, right! This must be Foxy the Pirate! The fox animatronic stands behind the curtain, completely still, with its jaw hanging agape. The eyes still forward, gazing slightly away from each other in either direction, not unlike a raptor. For some reason, you suddenly feel as though you should maintain prolonged eye contact with this one robot in particular. You visually engage the robot and stare right into its unmoving eyes. This is so stupid. On die. You've been staring in the fox robot's eyes for 3 interrupted minutes now. You feel as though you're finally getting somewhere. I'm about to die. 5 minutes later, you're still staring into his eyes. Or rather, his one eye that isn't being obscured by an eye patch. Neither you nor the fox have blinked yet. Uh-oh. 8 minutes later, you feel as though you understand some complex cosmic truth now. The fox's empty, dull, lifeless eye has revealed a universal wisdom to you. While you probably should check the other cameras, you're simply too enthralled to look away from Foxy the Pirate's eyes. After 10 minutes of unblinking, prolonged eye contact with the fox robot, something rips the camera panel out of your hands. You leap out of your chair and look up at the monstrosity standing in front of you. A large figure looms over you in the center of your office. You're now standing face to face with Freddy Fazbear! For a moment, time stands still, and you forget how to compose yourself. Freddy maintains direct, unblinking eye contact with you. Freddy's hand slowly extends forward, and his fingers open, as if they were preparing to grip your flesh. Suddenly, you remember a vital nugget of Scott's advice. These robots ever leave a finger on you, play dead, alright? Go live, alright? Can you do that for me? Play dead. On instinct, you immediately shut your eyes and your body ragdolls to the floor. Suddenly, Freddy Fazbear starts twitching and short-circuiting, as if it were panicking. The robotic bear proceeds to pick you up by the shoulders and breathe down your throat with long-winded rasps. The bear is giving you CPR! In your heart and soul, you know that he's only trying to revive you so he can kill you himself. The brown bear animatronic breathes directly into your mouth, shaking you vigorously as he does. You try your best to keep still. The smell coming from Freddy's mouth is repulsive, as if something had died inside of him. You barely peek your eyes open, just enough to make out what's happening directly in front of your face. Freddy's picked you up and is holding you up in the air. You remember Scott's advice and stay still as you can while being repeatedly shook by Freddy. After a full minute of breathing and shaking, Freddy gives up and slowly lowers your body to the ground. Freddy begins to move again with a whir and steps towards the East Wing office door. Freddy turns back around to look at you while still standing in the office door. Bear solemnly shuts its eyes and mutters something to itself in a deep, intelligent voice. The world is a vampire. The bear slowly creeps away from the office. You stay on the floor for several seconds to play it safe. Then you carefully get up and sit back in your office chair once the coast is clear. That was a little strange, wasn't it? Sit in your office chair, twiddling your thumbs. Clearly bored again. What now? Suddenly remember something. Didn't that bird robot slip in that puddle of Bud you left in the kitchen? With the visual feed for the camera disabled, who knows how badly that animatronic damaged itself. I don't really care about that one. To be fair, you were hired to guard the place, right? Yeah, I guess. Alright, I'll go and check. Might kill a few minutes. You get up from your office chair, pick up your flashlight, and slowly stretch each of your limbs. Time to go check on that insufferable robot bird, I suppose. You exit through the red office door and find yourself back within the confines of the dark and lengthy East Wing hallway. You trudge through the length of the hallway, passing some familiar children's drawings and a few more eerie newspaper clippings. You see one clipping that makes you stop dead in your tracks. You step closer to it quietly to read it out loud to yourself. 5 children are now linked to the incident at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, where a man dressed as a cartoon mascot lured several children into a back room. Okay, that gives a little more context as to what actually happened here. You keep reading. Police think that the suspect dressed as company mascot to earn the children's trust. Jeez, that's just too creepy to visualize. And someone abducted the children while dressed as one of these characters. Even stranger, it appears that someone has circled several lines across the different newspaper clippings with a red marker. You read every line circled with the red marker. The bodies were never found. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza is threatened again with shutdown by the health department over reports of foul odor coming from the much-loved animal mascots. The bodies themselves were never found. Police were contacted when parents reportedly noticed what appeared to be blood and mucus around the eyes and mouths of the mascots. The bodies themselves were never found. One parent likened the animatronic performers to reanimated carcasses. The bodies themselves were never found! Come on, Jeff! Oh my god. I figured it out! I know where the abducted kids ended up! They're in the pizza! Oh god. The killer made pizza out of the kids! He's so stupid. That's why the robots act so strange at night. They're looking for the missing kids. Case solved. God damn it, Jeff! How dunce must you be? It's so fucking obvious, you dollar! The bodies are in the... After somehow dodging another painfully obvious moment of clarity, you make your way through the kitchen doorway to check on the condition of the robotic bird. Oh. Chica is lying on the ground, several pizzas, and every piece has erupted into flames. Chica's on fire, it would seem. Okay. This is fine. I can fix this. With a roaring inferno surrounding the massive plastic and metal shards that once was Chica the avian robot, you calmly leave the kitchen to go look for a fire blanket. As you leave the now blazing kitchen, you wonder if they're going to dock your pay for directly causing this. As you reach the north end of the kitchen hallway, it occurs to you you're no longer alone. You barely notice a man-sized, vaguely bear-shaped figure standing right in front of you. You hastily whip around and point the beam of your flashlight right at its eyes. It doubles over in agony and lets out a roar of discomfort before speaking in a deep, familiar voice.
Jeff, goddammit, it's me!
You distinctly recognize that voice. Mr. Afton! You run your flashlight beam up and down Mr. Afton, taking note of what he's wearing. He appears to be in a bear costume, which is virtually identical to the suit on the Freddy Fazbear robot, aside from its faded yellow color. I guess he's wearing one of the spare suits? Damn, I'm stupid in this game.
Jeff, what are you doing here after hours?
I work here, sir. I think you're as stupid as I am. I'm the night guard.
You hired me today, Bill, damn it! Of course I did, Jeffrey. I was just testing you, my lad.
Afton lets out an incredibly forced laugh, which is muffled from under a ridiculous yellow Freddy suit that he's wearing. Your eyes adjust to the glare of the flashlight, and you notice the suit isn't just matte yellow, but that the body of the suit is also covered in various dark stains. Afton and you stand awkwardly, just staring at each other. You whistle softly, and he rubs his hand across the back of the costume's head. What are you doing back here, sir? Like, didn't you say you hate being back here after hours? Afton pitifully coughs in response, apparently not having an explanation.
Well, yeah, lad, I mean...
At that moment, you notice that Afton is holding the top of a huge burlap sack. The sack looks large and incredibly heavy.
Hey, boss, what's in the sack? Wouldn't be a dead kid, would it?
Afton pauses, doesn't even answer the question. In your heart and soul, you just know he's licking his lips inside that yellow Freddy suit. So, Jeff, You just stare at Afton, but it's hard to take him seriously with him wearing that crusty bear suit.
How are you finding your first night so far, lad?
Pretty alright. This place is kind of weird though at night. Typical night shift stuff, I guess. Afton answers you hesitantly, apparently glancing around for a way out of this conversation.
Yeah, I hear you, Jeff, I hear you.
You know, you've been here for so long, it surely must be almost 6 a.m., right? You glance at your watch. Actually, it's only 1:57 a.m. I'm stupid. I still got another 4 hours left on the clock. Mr. Afton taps his fingers together diabolically. He leans his right elbow against the wall and looks into your eyes, which looks more ridiculous than charismatic with that awful bear suit on. Say, Jeff, since you've done such a good job for your first night on the job, why don't you take the rest of the night off? Wow, really? You'll let me go? Sure. Go on, kid. Get out of here. Alright then, sir. I guess I'll see you tomorrow then. Go on, Jeff. I'll see you back here at 9 a.m. sharp. Afton chuckles as you walk away. Well, on the way to the entrance of the pizzeria, you glance back and see Afton struggling to drag his large sack away. He turns around and notices that you're looking right at him, so he animatedly waves goodbye for several seconds before going straight back to dragging his gigantic burlap sack the moment he thinks you've stopped looking at him. You can barely make out that as the sack gets dragged along, it creates a dark skid mark on the floor beneath its trail. You decide to stop thinking about Afton and Freddy's and quietly lead through the front doorway. You leave through the front doorway at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. leading you back to the darkened parking lot outside of Freddy's. You walk over to your vehicle and clamber into your heap of a car exhaustedly. You glance up at Freddy's smiling visage on the unlit sign above Freddy's. Now you can see why Freddy is smiling at you. He's mocking you. You stepped into his lair tonight and learned definitively that you weren't ready for Freddy. With nothing left here for you, you decide to drive home to get a few hours of shut-eye since you're due back for work at 9 a.m. Tomorrow is another day. Would you like to see your progress? Yeah! Okay, guys, we will end it there, and if you like, we will keep going with night 2, day 2. I don't know. We're spending way too much time at Freddy's, that's all I know. Looks like fun, though. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.